What if the best time to buy property doesn't actually feel like the best time? Investor lending is falling, buyers are becoming nervous, and across the real estate sector, we're starting to see something we haven't seen for a couple of years: choice. We just secured a property for $430,000 that I believe would have sold for more than $480,000 earlier this year. So, are investors becoming cautious at exactly the wrong time? And before you assume I'm saying we've reached the bottom, I'm not. Prices could absolutely fall further. The question I'm asking is, do you actually need to pick the exact bottom? Because some things have changed compared to 12 months ago. Government tax changes, interest rate rises, and probably the biggest factor of all is confidence. When investors think prices could fall, and when enough buyers wait at the same time, competition does disappear. And that's exactly what we're seeing in today's market. It is showing up in the data as a reduction in investor lending, but it's also showing up on the ground. Take Cairns, for example. Back in March, finding a quality house under $750,000 was incredibly difficult. Recently, I checked realestate.com.au and there were 152 homes on the market under $750,000. All of this has meant our target has changed. Where possible, we want to be buying around 10% better than 9 months ago. And we're already finding these opportunities. Take that apartment I mentioned at the start. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. We secured it for $430,000. My assessment is that property earlier this year would have sold quickly for more than $480,000. That's roughly $50,000 less it's selling for today. Now, does that prove the entire Cairns market has fallen 10%? No. Could property be cheaper again in 6 months from now? Absolutely. But I think that's where investors start asking the wrong question. Instead of asking, have we reached the bottom? Maybe the better question is, am I buying well enough that I don't need to perfectly pick the bottom? Because while investment buyers are pulling back, tenants aren't. One of our rental properties has just increased from $500 per week to $570. That's a $70 increase per week, or $3,640 a year. And the broader rental market remains extremely tight. So we have this strange contradiction. Investors are becoming less interested in owning rental property. At the exact same time, tenants are competing for an extremely limited supply of it. We know that fewer investors doesn't magically create more rental housing. And this really brings me to the number that interests me the most: population. Across Australia, the population is growing. Take Cairns again. In 2016, we were adding around 2,500 people per year. Today, it's more like 3,500 per year. That's roughly another 1,000 people arriving every year when compared to a decade ago. And all of those people, they need somewhere to live. Yet we're still not seeing housing supply increase anywhere near the way population growth has. Just take a look at the building approvals over the last 10 years. They basically haven't changed. And that's the fundamental issue I struggle to ignore. More people, extremely tight rentals, higher rents, and a housing system struggling to deliver enough new stock. Cairns isn't unique either. We see the same basic problem across Australia. Our population is growing quickly. But delivering enough new housing remains incredibly difficult. So ask yourself, what has actually changed recently? Has Australia suddenly stopped needing housing? No. Has Australia solved its rental shortages? No. Has building suddenly become cheaper and easier? Definitely not. What's changed is confidence. And confidence can change a lot faster than housing supply can, which brings us to probably the biggest argument people currently have. Why not wait another 6 months to buy? Maybe prices are another 5% cheaper. Maybe rates will remain high, and maybe market sentiment gets worse. All of those things are possible, but that's only one side of the bet. What happens if rents do keep increasing? What happens if interest rates do drop and money gets cheaper? What happens when buyers do suddenly become confident? Because demand can return very quickly. Housing supply can't. We've seen in the past how quickly the market can move from relatively balanced conditions straight back into multiple offers, shorter days on market, less negotiating power, and buyers paying whatever it takes to secure the property. Do you really think the market gives you 6 months notice before that sort of confidence returns? Usually by the time everyone feels comfortable buying, everyone is buying. And this brings me to an old saying that I absolutely love. Trying to pick the bottom of the market will leave you with a stinky finger. You don't need to buy the exact bottom. What you need to do is buy well, and that's an important distinction. I'm not buying anything simply because it has a for sale sign on it. Right now, I'm looking for a very specific type of property. I'm looking for something with low maintenance, strong rental yields, a realistic pathway towards being cash flow positive, and assets that I believe are selling well below replacement cost. Then I ask myself one question. If this property falls another 5% next year, would I still be happy owning it for the next 10 years? If the answer is no, I'm not buying it. But if I can buy a scarce asset with strong rental demand at a substantially better price than 6 months ago, I don't need to wait for everyone else to become confident again. Right now, buyers have something they haven't had for a while: choice. We can negotiate, we can walk away, we can demand value, and to me, that's opportunity. Don't buy simply because the market is softer. Buy when a softer market finally gives you the opportunity to buy a great property at a great price. So what would you do if you could buy a quality property today for roughly 10% less than buyers were prepared to pay earlier this year? Would you take the deal? Or would you wait another 6 months and try and pick the exact bottom? Let me know in the comments.